You know, I was reading about the reunion tour for the Police in 2007, 2008. That was, I think, the third highest grossing tour of all time. Would you go back on tour?
With the Police?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it was an exercise in nostalgia, which was, you know, successful, and it was a successful commercial thing. But I don't think you can really, you know, what's the old phrase? You can't step in the same river twice. I don't need to do that. You know, I'm interested in newer challenges than that, than just repeating the same thing.
So what is next for you? After this Broadway musical, what is next?
No idea. I mean, I imagine that within whatever I do, there's a seed that will bear fruit somewhere down the line. Something inside this thing will have a child.
Was it like having a child?
It's like having it. Well, for
like
me.
your seventh child?
But it's I can't predict what it is. I know something will appear, and then I follow my curiosity rather than anything else. I'm curious about music. I'm still learning about music, and I will follow that journey wherever it takes me, just even if it's not commercial.
One of the things that I've heard jokes about, or humorous articles written about you, and I mentioned this in the New York Observer article, is, and this kind of relates to being on tour, right? You have to be very physically fit, right? You have to be in good shape, and you have to be healthy. I'm sure a lot of the guys that are watching this interview, who are around your age, and who are also type A personalities and very ambitious, and they're working hard, they all want to know, how do you stay in shape?
It's 50% discipline and 50% vanity. You need a certain amount of vanity to
So you admit you're vain.
I think it's essential.
What's Sting's exercise regime?
What did I do this morning?
Yeah.
I swam for half an hour.
Okay.
I will go and do yoga or some Pilates or stretching, ride my bike. I don't want to go in the cold, but I like riding. Walking my dog, who, you know, pulls me everywhere. I've done yoga for almost 25 years, so yoga kind of is
before yoga became that popular.
Life. Yeah, but it's my whole. It's about connecting the breathing with the spirit and the body. So I don't think you can separate any of these forms. They're all one thing. You make sure you find time in your day, every day, to exercise? I was an athlete when I was younger. I was a 100 yards runner when it was 100 yards, and I just kept fit. It's been a part of your life. And also when I do a very physical job on stage. Yeah. I lose pounds. Well, I was going to say, you must be burning up the calories when you're on stage, right? My clothes are wringing wet. Even for the Broadway musical, even being on the last ship, it's going to be physically demanding, right? Oh, absolutely, yeah. You mentioned vanity, so 50% vanity. You worried about aging? You know, I'm 63. I enjoy being 63. I'm healthy, touch wood. And you either get older, you die. So there's no choice. I think as long as you keep your health, it's fine. Well, what is it like at 63 versus 33? Much more fun. Really? It's much more fun. I'm confident about who I am. I know who I am more and more, actually. So this is my favorite decade. I've had more fun in this decade than any other. Well, there's an article in The Atlantic this week where they talk about the midlife crisis and that it actually begins to dissipate after age 50, and that you actually get happier and happier as you get older. Is that what you're finding? As long as women find you attractive, it's still fun. I'd have a different story if they didn't. Sting, what's your red line in terms of things you would do to keep yourself good-looking and what would I not do? Young-looking. What would you do? What would you not do? I don't think I'd wear a wig. Quite happy with my hair. My hairline as it is. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Botox? I had Botox here. Yeah. Twice, right? I had like a line there, and it works from the outside in. Actually, stops you worrying. But I wouldn't do anything else. I mean, I don't want a face that's unnatural. Right, no plastic surgery. I was just concentrating too hard, so I said, try this, and I went, oh, I kind of like that. You did it twice, is that right? And you were like, no, I don't want to do it again. Well, I don't need to. Look, I'm gorgeous. You mentioned before that you've certainly gotten to
a stage in your life where you don't really need to work. You're quite wealthy. You've mentioned before that you don't want to leave your kids all this money and have them become trust fund kids.
It's never really been an issue in our house because my kids are fiercely independent, and they like to work. They really do. I wouldn't want to rob them of the privilege of making it on your own, you know, making a living. I mean, they were well educated and they were well fed, and they're not expecting anything. Why would they? So the privilege of making it on your own, of making a living, is something that I think they value. And so it's not that I'm not going to leave them. No.
They've never talked to you about it at all?
They don't want it.
Sting, thank you so much.
Nice to talk to you.